right, I thought we would revisit the Bears 2022 draft class, Ryan Poles' first draft. I know a few people were asking about this when we asked your content ideas a few weeks back. I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So my name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. We are going to revisit the 2022 draft and regrade how that draft is aged 3 years in. And just a reminder on who the Bears selected in that draft. No first-round pick. A couple of second-round picks, though. Kyler Gordon, who obviously just got an extension. Jaquan Brisker, both those guys in the second round. Velus Jones Jr., in the third round. Those were your day 2 picks. Again, no first-round pick. And then a bunch of day 3 picks. Remember, Poles kept trading around to get extra darts to throw. Braxton Jones, that one's worked out pretty well. Dominique Robinson, Zachary Thomas, Trestan Ebner, Doug Kramer, Jaquan Carter, Elijah Hicks, and Trenton Gill were the day 3 picks. Okay, before I regrade each pick, what was your favorite pick in that draft class for the Chicago Bears? Maybe not the best one, but your favorite one. Could be the best one as well. Let us know down in the comment section below. Okay, I went back to my Bears draft grades video, which is, we do it every single year, and I gave the Kyler Gordon pick an A. Bears really needed a corner at that time, as Jalen Johnson was on the team, but the other corners were question marks, and Gordon had versatility, really good athletic profile. Didn't know right when they picked him if he'd played nickel or outside. I gave it an A grade. I like the pick. I thought he could go first round, and it's an A today. I mean, listen, you get a guy in the second round who has emerged as one of the best nickel corners in the league, and you've already given him a second contract. Like, that's a good pick. Like, he's been good. Now, is he an all-pro? Like, maybe not, but for a nickel corner and where you got him, I think it's been one of the better picks Ryan Poles has made when you combine value, what he's brought to the table, and just how it's aged up to this point. I think everybody is pretty happy about how that one has turned out. Okay, Jaquan Brisker, number 48 overall. Gave it an A- at the time. Really liked the pick. I'll still give it a B. Jury's still out. Sounds like he's had a really good start to OTAs. Good to see him back and healthy. And really, that's the only reason it's not a B+, A-, or even an A, because when Jaquan Brisker is healthy, he's a leader on this team. He's one of the better defensive players on this team. But he's just been hurt a lot, especially last year. I mean, you missed the final 12 games with the concussion. That is a concern. He's had a couple of other concussions earlier in his career. He's been nicked up a few other times. But when he's played, I think he's pretty good. Like, I don't know if he's been quite as consistent as Kyler Gordon, but if the injuries weren't an issue, I would absolutely be comfortable giving him a second contract already. Still think that could happen if he has a healthy and good year in 2025. I'll give it a B grade, but this is a big year for him to stay healthy and to put it all together consistently. Okay, Velus Jones Jr., I gave it a C+ at the time, and I remember that being a generous grade. It was way too generous. F. Listen, when you take a guy in the third round that was a clear overdraft, and it just doesn't even come close to working out, it's just a bad pick. At worst, a third-round pick needs to be a contributor, and other than a few flash plays over his first 2 years, it'd be one thing if he just didn't do anything. He actually cost you games, right? Like, he muffed a punt late against the Giants, which cost you an opportunity to drive down to tie or win that game. He muffed a punt against the Commanders, my infamous Thursday night football game in 2022 post-game reaction when they lost 12-7, and 6 of the Commanders' 12 points were on a muff punt by Velus inside the 5. He muffed the kickoff against the Titans in Week 1 last year. That easily could have cost you the game. That was the final straw. Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like, you reached for a guy because of his speed, his athleticism, and he didn't pan out. Well, not only did he not pan out, he actually cost you games. So just a disastrous pick. I think a pick that Ryan Poles probably learned from. Okay, Braxton Jones. I gave it a B- at the time. And again, you get to day 3, you're kind of just, I don't want to say guessing on grades, but like, it's all value, right? Like, I thought his athletic profile projected, hey, he could be a backup swing tackle type. He's been a serviceable to above average left tackle, especially for where you got him in the 5th round. A-. It really would be an A or an A+ based on where they got him. But he has had a couple of injuries, so I'll knock it down a little to an A-, but he's absolutely overachieved. Whether he's with the Bears long-term or not, I think he's got a place in this league as a starting offensive tackle. I think he could be a 10, 12-year pro, have a career like Charles Leno, where he's never going to be an all-pro. He's never going to be one of the highest paid at his position, but he can make a lot of money and start a lot of games in the NFL because he's athletic, he can move, and, while he doesn't have a great anchor, he's good enough to be a starting offensive tackle over there on the left side. So one of Poles' better value picks through his 4 drafts so far. I think that's very, very safe to say. Is this Braxton Jones last year in Chicago? Type Y for yes, it is. Type N for no, it is not. I kind of think it is. Maybe that's another reason why it doesn't become an A or an A+, because he probably won't get a second contract here. But listen, you've gotten 3, might get a 4th year of starting play out of a 5th-round pick out of Southern Utah at left tackle. That's pretty darn good. Okay, Dominique Robinson, I gave it a B at the time. I was fascinated with the athletic profile, late 5th round. I'll give it a C-. It's still a passing grade for now, barely, because he is still on the team. He had a blocked punt last year. He's been a decent special teams contributor. He's just never really developed as a pass rusher, which is unfortunate. It's kind of the ultimate example of just because someone's athletic doesn't mean they're a great football player. He was recruited to Miami of Ohio to be a receiver. They moved him to defensive end. He was still a raw project coming in, and he's kind of just been that project, right? It hasn't really developed, but due to his athletic profile, he's been able to contribute on special teams. He's not the worst defensive lineman of all time. He's still on the team. I don't know if he'll be on the team this year, but considering he's still here, I'll give it the very, very barely passing grade. And it's the 5th round. It's not like you're expecting to hit on all of these. Okay, Caleb Williams jerseys are available. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. Click and shop today. Only $100. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. Okay, Zachary Thomas, original grade, I gave it a B. I love the versatility. He played tackle, guard. He had center flex coming out of San Diego State. I'll give it a D. The only reason it's on an F because he actually never made the Bears 53. He was on their practice squad, and then the Rams poached him, and he's bounced around. He was with the Patriots, now he's with the Texans. The reason it's still a D and not an F because he is still in the league, and he's been on some active rosters the last few years, but I can't give it a passing grade considering he never even made the Bears roster. Trestan Ebner, again, it's round 6, so it's hard to give bad grades, but I think in this case it's justified. Running back is one of those positions that on day 3, even later in the draft, you can find guys that can at least make your team and contribute. He made the Bears roster as a rookie, but he did absolutely nothing. He played a little bit on special teams. I actually looked up the stats. He had 24 carries for 54 yards. Then he had an injury, and they cut him with an injury designation, and he's never played again. No one else has picked him up. He hasn't even played in spring football leagues, from what I can tell based on the research I did. Just not a good pick. You can find running backs, undrafted guys that can at least contribute and stick around the league. This guy did not. It's the one position on day 3 where the hit rate of at least contributing is much higher than other positions, and he didn't do that at all. He lasted one NFL season despite his athletic profile, his ability to be a returner. It just did not work out. Okay, Doug Kramer, 207 overall. I gave it a B-. Look, it's still a B-. It's like late 6th round. He's an okay backup center. They found a kind of a fullback flex there. Now the Washington thing, we're all scarred from that, but that's more of a Shane Waldron thing than Doug Kramer. I actually liked that role with him as the lead blocker in that situation. He briefly left, came back about a year and a half ago, so he's still in the league. I don't know what Ben Johnson's vision is for him. I don't know if he'll make this roster, but he's got some versatility. He's a local guy. He likes being here, hard worker. I think there's value in all those things. And again, it's when you get picked factors in as well. So a guy who's actually played and done some decent things that late in the draft, it's not a bad pick, B-. Jaquan Carter, B, and I'm still going to give it a B. He was here for 2 years and was a quality backup. 1 year, 2 years, I can't remember. He's still a good backup for Carolina. I was kind of surprised when they let him go. I liked Jaquan Carter. When he played, he did well a couple preseasons ago. I was like, man, this guy's pretty good. So he's not still on the Bears roster, but it wouldn't shock me at all if this guy had a 7 or 8 year career as a backup guard and a guy who, if he needs to plug and play, can do so. Athletic, can kick out the tackle if you need him to as well. Played tackle in college. So, yeah, I liked that pick, liked what he brought early, and was kind of disappointed when the Bears let him go, to be honest. Subscribe to the channel, full off-season coverage ahead, and let us know how you feel about this style of video. Maybe we'll do some other revisiting old draft videos in the future, but we're having fun with it, so hit that subscribe button. Elijah Hicks, I gave it a C grade at the time, B+. Listen, 7th round, into the 7th round. He's been a solid, serviceable backup when he's had to play. He's held his own, especially last year, and he's been one of your better special teams players. Like, you get a guy in the 7th round that even makes your team, it's a good pick. He's not only made the team, he's contributed consistently on special teams, and last year especially, played a lot at safety and at least held his own. So, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if he was back on a second contract on a 1 or 2 year deal. And, you know, kind of like Josh Blackwell, right? Undrafted guy who earned a spot, good backup nickel, really good on special teams. Hicks, kind of the same deal at safety. And then Trenton Gill, look, it's round 7. Typically you're not handing out Fs here, but I'm sorry. I gave it a B- at the time, F now. And they needed a punter, so I defended the pick. But I think it's a fair rule to have, and I think a lot of people live by this. If you take a specialist, a kicker or a punter, in any round, and they don't pan out, it's a horrible pick. I mean, even Tory Taylor, they took him in the 4th round last year. If he's not consistently one of the best punters in the league for like a decade, that's not a good pick. It just isn't, especially for where they got him. So we'll see on Tory Taylor. I thought he was pretty good last year. It took him a few weeks to get kind of under his skis, but I thought toward the end of the season he was better. Soldier Field, tough field to punt in. But Gill, not only did he not pan out, his 2nd year, he was the worst punter in the league. He was dead last in net average. So, yeah, not a good pick. I get it's round 7, but if you're going to take a kicker or a punter, they better at least be pretty good, and he was not. Okay, so to recap, Kyler Gordon, great pick. He's panned out, 2nd contract. Brisker, to be determined. When he's played, he's been really good. The injuries are a question mark there, though, obviously, moving forward. Braxton Jones, good pick, good value. We'll see if he's here long term. Elijah Hicks, same deal, good pick, good value. Doug Kramer, fine. Like, he's probably more of a practice squad player, but he's got versatility. He can do some different things. If you want to put Dom Rob into that fine category as well, I think Kramer's produced a little bit more. And then the rest, either bad or off the team. Now, look, 8 of the 11 picks were the 5th round or later. So, if you have 8 picks, rounds 5 through 7, you're hoping like you hit on 2. And they hit on Braxton Jones, they hit on Elijah Hicks, and Kramer and Dom Rob have at least contributed a little bit. So it's like, I think all in all, that was like probably a B- draft. Like, if Brisker sticks, if he has a big year this year and is healthy, that elevates what this draft produced for you. The Velus pick was a disaster. We all know that. Calculated swing, but not a good one. And look, that's kind of the way it goes. So middle of the pack draft, you didn't have a 1st round pick. You nailed one of your 2nd round picks. Your other one's been good when healthy. And then on day 3, you found a hidden gem in Braxton Jones and a couple other guys who've contributed. So again, mixed bag. Time will still tell on a couple of these guys, but you're entering year 4. It's kind of now or never if it's still on the fence for a few players. So see how it plays out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed going back through and doing it. It's kind of fun looking back. It's like, Trestan Ebner, what is he up to? No idea. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon.